What's up, guys? Welcome back to Maestro Vapes. It's time for another vlog. We're into December already. So I want to do the giveaway. I wanted to do this last week, but I had some problems and my battery died and my SD card filled up. And just this is like the third time I'm trying to shoot this vlog. So hopefully we can get through it, all right? I want to do the giveaway for the Quicksilver RDA, but I'm going to wait till just a little bit later, okay? I've already determined the winner, so somebody out there is going to win it, okay? What do I want to talk about? Okay, the Dark Horse video. On the Dark Horse video, at the beginning of it, I said I had a weird story that I wanted to tell, and then I gapped it out in the end, and somebody asked me what that story was, okay? I was vaping the Dark Horse. It was like the second or third day that I had gotten this thing, and I'm getting this weird taste, right? So I'm having a pull. Weird taste, and I thought it was the insulator melting, and I was so bummed out because the Dark Horse was working so well, okay? Turns out it wasn't the insulator melting at all. I opened it up and there was the finest little hair sitting right onto my coil and onto my cotton, like a baby hair, like the stuff you have on your hairline, like a tiny little hair you could barely see. Like I had to get a microscope to see it and to pull it off, but I was vaping that thing and then I felt like a knob. Got that off, about 2 or 3 pulls and that taste was gone and the Dark Horse was still kicking. 2 days later, same thing happened. I'm vaping it, get that same taste, and I'm like, it better be another hair in that thing. Turns out it was my girlfriend's hair, and she's got like long, dark hair, and I had to pull this thing off of it, and I'm like, what the shit, man? But the Dark Horse has that monster nylon tip, and it's winter time. Like, winter is about to commence, right? So you're layering up. I got hoodies and jackets and stuff. You put this in your pocket, stuff is gonna end up in that tip, like definitely. So if you get a funny taste, it's probably a hair or a lint ball or a candy wrapper. Hell, you could almost throw a dime into that thing, man. What else? VTC4. Is it a purple 30 amp Efest? Everybody's been telling me a 30 amp Efest is a VTC4, okay? So let's take a look. I already know the result. I've pulled apart 2 purple Efests. These are the 30 amps 2100 mAh batteries. Here's a VTC4. This is the writing that's on it, okay? And the results really shocked me, man. Really shocked me. Let me see if I can yank one of these apart, okay? Using ceramic tweezers, starting at the negative end. I want to see if the writing on these is really faint, man. Look, I hope it's on here. A little bit. But what I found is the purple Efest is a Sony VTC4. It has the writing on it, but it's super faint. Like, it's so faint. It looks like they've taken like a xylene wipe or something and erased it. Oh, perfect. This one's like totally wiped off. Like there's smear juice on it. Like it's totally wiped off. But I guarantee you that it is. I've taken 3 of these apart now and 2 of them show it. Like you can just barely see it, but it's on there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got that serial number. It's got that SE US 18650 with the code. It says VTC4 on it, okay? So for the VTC4 shortage, Sony shortage, maybe go out and buy 30 amp Efest batteries because they definitely have the markings. And they're identical batteries, man. Like they are identical looking. Like even the machining where you could see where they've kind of spun this and pushed it together is exactly the same. Like they are identical batteries. I heard this rumor a long time ago. Didn't really want to believe it, you know? I just felt like the purple Efest hit a little weaker off the hop. You know, I felt like maybe the internal resistance was a little bit different. The markings are there. They're the same batteries, you know? So, and I used the purple Efest, the 30 amp Efest at the beginning of the year. That was like the only 30 amp battery that I was using. And I was doing like under zero point 0.1 ohm builds on it, 0.09, 0.08s, and they were holding up well. Like I've never vented a 30 amp Efest, okay? I have vented a 35 amp Efest, the, what are they, 2500 mAh batteries. I have vented those. I've vented those. The 30s, however, I have not, man. And Sony's, I haven't vented a Sony battery, personally. There's that. I was kind of shocked. Freaked me right out. But yeah, the markings are on it. If you don't believe me, rip one apart. Like, rip one apart. It's on there. But these purple Efests that I have are probably from around... They're at least 6 or 8 months old. They're at least 6 or 8 months old, so I don't know if the newer ones that you're buying right now are the same batteries, okay? Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But rip one apart. Let me know. Tell me if you got an old one. Maybe you got a dull one that just doesn't hit anymore. Rip it apart. You're going to toss it anyway, and tell me what it is, okay? Because I clearly see the writing on it, man. Craziness. Something else I want to talk about. I'm going to have a video coming up. It's going to be Battle of the Regulated Boxes Death Match, okay? Got the Sigelei 100 watt and I've got the IPv3, and we're going to put these head to head and see who the winner is going to be. And we're not just going by wattage here and what it puts out, because obviously, you know, 150 watts to the 100 watts. And I'm sure a lot of people are saying, well, the 150 is going to win anyway over the 100. But honestly, I don't vape these over 100 watts ever, you know, ever. I hit them at about, unlike my Orchid, it's about 40 to 50 watts. And my drippers, it's about 60 up to about 90, like 87 is about it. But yeah, we're going to look at fit, form, function, how the batteries go in, charging, how they feel, the screen layout, just everything. I know there's a lot of, you know, hoopla going on with the charging of the IPv3. I did get the 9-volt charger supplied to me. Happy Vapor was kind enough to let me use these 2 boxes to review and check out. Svelana and Jack and Manuel, super cool. Sean, all the guys over there, very, very cool. Thank you for letting me use these boxes. But they gave me the 9-volt charger to charge the IPV, but I've been a little skeptical, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we do the video. But if you watched Grim Green's last vlog, he was saying some pretty gnarly stuff, why not to use the 9-volt charger. So we'll talk about that some more when we go head-to-head with these 2 boxes. And I've been really enjoying using them. I've been really enjoying using these boxes. So yeah, we'll check them out some more, okay? There's that. Orchid. I'm vaping the Orchid. This is an infinite clone. This is the version 2. Doesn't hold a ton of juice, but the vape is pretty cool, man. What do I got? 0.3 ohm build, 46 watts. That's 4 volts, okay? So it's pretty much the same as my Mac would hit. And it vapes good. Like, it's the closest thing to a dripper so far, you know? I want to thank everybody for turning me on to the Orchid for a long time. People have been telling me, like, get an Orchid, try the Orchid. And I'm just like, I got a Kayfun, you know? I've got a Kayfun. I've got a fogger. You know, I barely use those. Like, I don't need another tank atomizer. But this thing has just been so nice to vape. Like, it is so nice, except for the fact that if I use this as my only device, I would have to fill it up, like, 6 times a day. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of room for juice on this one. I know the version 4 has a little bit more room for juice, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll grab one of those. Haha. What else am I vaping on? Okay, Vape Dominion in Mississauga sent me this guy. They sent me a Squape Reloaded clone, and this is made by Amod. So I'm checking out Amod. I've heard a lot of things like Amod just kind of felt like they came out of nowhere, just out of left field. It was like Infinite and H Cigar and Yasmo and, you know, everybody else. And then all of a sudden it's like Amod's around and people are doing like, you know, group buys on Amod clones. And I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? So Vape Dominion, they offered to send me a couple of things and they said, hey, like, what do you vape? What do you like vaping? We dig your channel. We'll send you a couple of things. And I'm like, oh, I like copper mods. I like, you know, this, that. I'm a dripper dude. That's it. So they sent me a Tank Addy and a stainless steel mod. And I'm like, it's weird that they sent me a stainless steel mod, but it looks sharp, man. It looks so sharp and it's hybrid. This is the simple A-mod clone. And it just looks sharp and short, you know? It just looks kind of stunning. Today, I just got this. I've built this Squape twice today. So before I left the house today, I put a 24 gauge nichrome build in it. Low resistance. And it was kind of burning up on me a little bit. Like I was burning my wick. It couldn't keep up. Even when, you know, I did primer puffs and stuff, it was just not working too well. So I put a different build in it. I thought I was doing a 28 gauge parallel coil around a 2.7 millimeter bit, but it turns out I was doing 30 gauge. So I got a 1 ohm coil. It's like 0.96. So really it's not giving me what I need, but here, let's have a vape off of it. You can get one, you just gotta haul up on it. I'm gonna do some more builds in this thing and try it out a little bit more. But the Amod clone of the Squape is really nice. Like it came with the 2 decks, it came with the, you know, the small deck, and it came with the wide deck, the larger deck, and it's pretty cool. Like it's a very clean clone. And I think the price on this thing was like 39 bucks. Like it's pretty cheap. Check it out. I think this guy right here is like 27 bucks or 29 bucks or something like that for the simple clone. They've also got a copper one that's a couple bucks more. I think it's like 32 or 33 bucks, but very cool stuff. Check them out. You know, rule your vape at Vape Dominion, my friends. That's cool stuff. Yeah, I think I can get this Squape going pretty good, but once again, you run into that, just not enough room for juice. It's easy as hell to build though. Very easy to build. I want to show you something. 2.7 mil. I wanted a 2.7 mil screwdriver so bad, and it's hard to find. They're always 2.4 or what's that, 3/32 or 3 mil, which is an eighth. So to find something in the middle was tough, and I've been building coils for the regulated boxes, and 2.4, 3/32 seems to be a little bit small. I wanted just a bit of a bigger diameter, but I didn't want to go 3 mil or 1/8. So I made myself a 2.7 millimeter screwdriver. I had a broken 2.4 mil screwdriver. The driver bit out of it had broken out of it, so I just had a hole in a driver. So I took this bit, screwed into the driver handle, and, you know, made it big enough to jam this in there. So got myself a nice 2.7 mil driver. You could do that too. I think I put a little bit of Gorilla Glue. No, it's Crazy Glue, just a dab in there just so it stays in there. You can go as far as to cut this off and, you know, make a pointer out of it or pick whatever you want, you know? So pretty funky little, you know, build project that you can do, man. What's coming out? 2 things are coming out. Okay, one thing came out and the other thing is coming out. So I wanted to talk a little bit about them, okay? Kayfun version 4 is coming out. Maestro threw up a video on YouTube that was just kind of like a, you know, minute-long video, 3-dimensional video of the Kayfun version 4. And it's different and it's funky. Like, I dig it. I think a couple other reviewers who are beta testers are shooting videos for them right now. I think Todd put up a video for it, And I'm pretty sure when I checked last, Vaping Greek, Dimitri, I think, put up a video as well for that. If you know, and I'm sure Phil Basardo will have a video soon, and you know, whoever else, right? So there's going to be videos out. But it's kind of funky, you know, it's kind of funky. I like the original Kayfun, like the Kayfun Lite. I have a Kayfun Lite Plus because it's really simple looking. Like, it's really smooth and clean, and it's easy. You know, once you learn how to build it, you just build it over and over and over and over again. You know, you re-wick it, and it's great, you know. It is single coil, you know, so that's that, you know. But the new one, the version 4, is kind of funkier looking. You know, there's more engraving, there's more logoing. It comes with 3 tank sections, which is pretty cool. Comes with a stainless steel tank, glass tank, and a polycarbonate tank. But the price, do you guys know what the price is for it yet? What it's going to be? They're talking about it being about $180. $180, man. That's a lot of dough for a rebuildable tank atomizer. Like the Kayfun, the original Kayfuns, the Kayfun Lite was really cool because it's around $100. You know, around $100, and you get quality, you get great machining, you get a really nice device. But man, $180, like you're pushing $200 for a tank addy. You know, it's a little bit nuts. I don't know. I kind of want one, but price point, you know what I mean? It's a little bit tough for me to fucking wrap my head around right now. But the reason why I want one is it's cool because it's got, you know, liquid control on it, so you can turn your liquid completely off when you're filling it. You can fill it from the top now, like you don't have to take it off and, you know, break up your vacuum and then cover your finger over the air hole and flip it and tighten it, or fill it through the hole in the bottom, like through the fill port. You can fill it through the top now. Like, just take off the top, your drip tip and your top, and just boom, fill it up, turn off your juice flow, fill it up, and you're ready to go. Like, it's pretty cool. It also has 4 screws in the deck now. So it has 2 positives and 2 negatives. So you do have the ability to dual coil it, which I thought would be phenomenal. But really, it looks like you could only do kind of like a double barrel coil, like side by side, because there's only one airflow hole. Like, there's still that single hole through the center. Maybe there's going to be new decks, like they'll introduce new decks or something that just fans out the airflow, something like that. Or, you know, maybe they'll have one with, you know, 2 different flow. I don't know. I know there will be options. Like, I know there will be aftermarket stuff. I'm sure people will make kits, like Ghost Modder will make a nano kit for it and stuff like that. So it's pretty funky, but $180, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. They're going to be out. Like, a couple days after this video is uploaded, they're going to be out. Like, I know the local shop I go to, they're the Maestro dealer in Canada, and they're launching on December 6th. They'll be out. So, and they haven't announced the price yet. Like, so, you know, I'm thinking it's upwards of $200. You know what I mean? It's just kind of crazy. Hobo version 2.1. I finally got one on pre-order. I've been putting it off for a super long time, but I'm going to get one. I'm going to shoot a video for that this month, sometime before Christmas, and I'll show you what build works for me. You know, I'm going to vape on that thing for at least a week, if not 2. That's what I kind of like to do, is kind of vape on stuff for a couple of weeks to see how it works, you know, and what works best for me. So I'm going to be doing that coming up before Christmas. What else came out? The Atlantis came out. The Atlantis, it's like the, you know, the Nautilus's big brother just got hatched, you know? Aspire came out with the Atlantis. And the reason why everybody's amped about the Atlantis is because the coils are 0.5 ohm. So they come with a sub-ohm, you know, replacement head, right? And they're kind of funky because I saw one ripped apart. Okay, so let's say this is your coil and this is the base. Here's your drip tip, right? Your tank comes down. So your coil, the legs would come down into that little creamy colored insulator, right? But one would come up and it wraps up vertical and then the other leg goes down. But the way they did it was using resistance and non-resistance wire, okay? So back in the day, before I started vaping, people would weld non-resistance wire to their legs, okay? They would make legs out of non-resistance wire. They'd have these little like spot welders, butt welders, and they would weld non-resistance to resistance wire, like nickel wire. It's non-resistance wire, right? So they'd weld that to like Kanthal wire, nichrome wire, whatever, wrap their coils, have those welded legs on, and then their legs wouldn't get hot, you know, and you wouldn't get funky taste. And this is like before micro coils, before your coils scorched out from the center like the headlight on Kit on Knight Rider car, you know what I mean? Boom, boom. But anyway, I guess I went back and forth. Anyway, I'm picturing it scorching out. But yeah, before those days, they used to do that, right? So the Atlantis coils, same thing. And now it's pretty cool because it comes down, the legs come down, and then they can't get hot and melt out that little creamy colored insulator where one of your legs would come out, one would come off to the side and make your positive and negative, your pin goes in the bottom, right? And it can't scorch your cotton. And another cool thing they're saying is it's made out of, the wick is Japanese cotton, okay? So, you know, maybe it's Kogendo, whatever it is, but it's got Japanese cotton as your wick. But there's also a piece of ceramic, and I was reading on Reddit that somebody was vaping one, and, you know, ceramic gets crumbly. It gets crumbly after some time, right? So someone was vaping one, had a haul, and sucked up ceramic. So it kind of turns me off about the Atlantis and but the coils and how they do it with the non-resistance wire is kind of funky. But it still freaks me out because it's going to be difficult as shit to rebuild. Like if you want to rebuild those heads, and maybe you do it once, maybe you do it twice, maybe Rip posts a video of how to do it, which I'm sure he'll do it, you know what I mean? And that's cool because he's helping people out. But how many times do you rebuild that thing? You know, once or twice just to go, okay, I know how to rebuild it and I can. But when it comes down to it, I don't want to fuck around with that little tiny head and rebuild it. And it's got that little sleeve of cotton in there, like that little wick, and it gets matted. Like, you're going to have to rip apart new ones to build them. That's just the way that I see it. And the one thing that freaks me out is I don't want to be a slave to buying them. I don't want to be a slave to buying those coils because I just feel like the price on those coil replacement heads might be a little bit more than the Nautilus coils were. And the Nautilus coils were like $4 a piece, you know, around there, right? So with that little welding with the legs and resistance and non-resistance wire using ceramic and Japanese cotton, I'm going to think that it's going to be more expensive for these coils. Like, I'm going to say that they're going to be like $5 a piece. I don't know that for sure, but I think they might be. So, but I'm getting one. I'm getting one, and we're going to check it out. You know what? I had one in the cart, in my shopping cart, like 2 or 3 times, and I couldn't pull the trigger. I was like, no. And it was like $35 Canadian, which is like $8 US. It was $35 Canadian. So it's, I don't know, what's that? Like around $29 or something US, right? So the price was good, and I just couldn't pull the trigger on it. I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. And then again, I've had it in the cart and didn't do it. And then yesterday I was like, forget it. I'm getting it. You know, I'm going to get it, you know? And I'll probably do that with the Kayfun version 4 too, but we'll see what the price is, man. But I'm going to try that out, and I'll show it to you guys and see, you know, what it's like. I don't think it's going to be the be-all, end-all. Like, I've got an Orchid that I've got built to around, this is showing 0.3. When I built it, I know it's 0.34 ohms. Dual coil, 24 gauge. It's not going to vape better than this, you know? It's just not going to vape better than this. But for somebody new to vaping, man, That is going to be a sick, awesome coil. Like when I started vaping, I was vaping like Vivi Nova's top coil Clearos with those little octopus silica wicks off of it, trying to get warm vapes, and that's what I dug. I dug the Vivi Nova top coils because I could get warm vapes out of them. How far we've come, man, even since then. Like we're talking about 0.5 ohm coils for your fucking Atlantis tank. Like, it's ridiculous how far we've come, man. It's awesome. What a good time to start vaping, man. But it's crazy, crazy. Okay, well, you know what? I've been babbling enough, okay? I want to talk about the giveaway, okay? The giveaway for the Quicksilver RDA, all right? A lot of people sent me emails. I got over 100 emails with, a response to the answer that I asked. The question was, what's my favorite mod? Someone even emailed me and told me what their favorite mod is. It's like, what my favorite mod is? My favorite mod is like the Stingray X or something like that. I'm just like, very clever, dude. You were still in the giveaway for that one because that was pretty clever. Most people did guess either Copper Manhattan or Amerivape Manhattan, or people guessed Copper Nemesis or Authentic Copper Nemesis or Nemesis version 2 or whatever you guessed. If you guessed Nemesis or Manhattan, you were in it. Because, you know what? I've said that both of those are my favorite mods, and really they are. And thinking about it lately, I don't want to say it, but the Manhattan is my favorite mod. Like, just the weightiness of it, the way it feels. The magnets are stiff. You don't have to lock it. Hits like a dream every time. I've dropped this thing like 14 times. I've got dings all over it. And the magnets have never shattered. Like, it's an awesome mod. It's an awesome mod. If there was one mod that I bought this year and it was this one, I'd be pretty happy. I'd be pretty happy with that purchase. This and the Dark Horse, man. Well, who won, right? Okay, 126 people emailed me. I tried to do random.org with a list randomizer with everybody's names in it, but I'm not super tech savvy, Like, I can barely put these videos together. So I just did a random number generator, and I generated a number between 1 and 126. What was that number? That number was 77, okay? So I counted up from the first email towards the last email. First person in would have been number 1, and I counted up to 77. Now, the number 77th response was from, drumroll please, Peter Hunter. Peter Hunter, you have won yourself a Quicksilver RDA, my friend. Let's get some, like, ladies cheering or something right now. Ah, Peter, you won the Quicksilver RDA. Awesome, dude. It comes with 3 different sleeves. People call them barrels. Everybody calls them barrels now. The barrel, they're looking at the barrel. I call them sleeves, okay? It's got a stainless steel sleeve, brass sleeve, and a copper sleeve. So you can outfit that thing any which way you want, my friend. Check your email, buddy, because I sent you an email saying something like, dude, congrats, man. You won. What's your shipping info, bro? Send it out to you. Something like that, dude. So check it out. Check your email. Something in there from me. And I'll send it out to you, man. I'll send it out to you as soon as you get back to me. Within a couple of days. All right? I did generate another number just in case Peter didn't get to me. Somebody else has a chance to get it, right? And it was a lady. I'm not going to say who it was, but it was a lady. It was a lady. So if Peter doesn't get to me, maybe a lady won, all right? But the Quicksilver, super nice, and I want to thank Shy from Dash Vapes. He gave that to me. I reviewed it just a little while ago, gave that to me, so I'm giving it back. So right on, Peter, you won it, my brother. That's it, guys. That's it for me. That's all I got to say. I probably got some other stuff too, but whatever. Save it for another time, my friends. Yeah. Butt out, vape up, breathe easy. Know your limits and vape within it. And you, my friend, right there are going to have a stellar day. All right? Cutting out. Stay tuned, man. We're going to do Battle of the Boxes coming up. Death match, cage match. Who's going to win? All right, stay tuned for that. Should be awesome, guys. Have a good one, all right? Stay safe.